Welcome to the Memorizing Tarot Cards podcast, your 3-minute lessons on learning and memorizing each card using symbolism. I use the Rider Waite Tarot, if you would like to view the card while you listen using your own tarot card deck or computer. Today, we're exploring the Ten of Wands, focusing on reversals. First, let's start with the divine meaning of the card and then the meaning when reversed. When the Ten of Wands appears upright, it represents carrying a heavy load, often one that feels overwhelming. It's about taking on too much responsibility, feeling weighed down, or nearing exhaustion. When reversed, this card speaks to a breaking point or the need to relinquish the burdens that no longer serve you. This card can also indicate that your responsibilities have trapped you, and you are finally realizing that you can't do it all. The reversed Ten of Wands prompts you to delegate, ask for help, or simply decide that some things no longer need to be on your plate. It's about reclaiming your time and mental space by removing unnecessary burdens. Next, let's discuss ways to approach this card in a reading. When the Ten of Wands reversed appears in a reading, it's a sign that you've reached a point where you can't keep going as you have been. The pressure is building, and you may be feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or resentful of the responsibilities you've taken on. This card encourages you to reflect on what you're carrying and whether it's necessary. It's also a reminder that it's okay to say no. If you've been stretching yourself too thin, this card asks you to reevaluate your boundaries and responsibilities. Now is the time to offload what doesn't serve you. To memorize this card, I think of a time in my own life that represents the card. My reversed Ten of Wands moment was when I hired my first contractor in my e-commerce business. Before making that decision, I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and resentful of how much I had to work to meet my delivery schedules. I hired someone part-time to help me out, which gave me the flexibility not to have to run from work to the warehouse to fulfill orders. I just needed to worry about listing new items on the site. Before deciding I needed help and hiring someone, I felt like closing the business down some days. Once I got some help, it did take a big chunk of the profits, but it also gave me the time I needed to grow the business. This card reminds us that it's okay to release what no longer serves us, and that by doing so, we can reclaim our energy and focus. Of course, to memorize tarot, keep practicing tarot. As you listen to these 3-minute lessons, you will consistently remember the symbolism that applies across different cards in the deck. Thank you for listening. Join us for more 3-minute lessons to memorize more cards.